Chat. Early stream. Super early. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm streaming this early, but here we are. Oh, this is new, isn't it? I should email this. Maybe I could get an interview. I should email this. I'm gonna email this. See if I can get an interview with Ryan. That'd be sick. I'd imagine no, but might as well try, huh? What's up, Rosh? How you been, man? Not so good. That sucks, bro. I don't like to hear that. Hopefully it gets better. Whatever's going on. That sucks. I'm emailing Ryan or the GameStop team right now. See if I can get this interview. Probably not. I tried calling them that one time, but they didn't answer. So maybe this email. I've never seen this email here on the investor relation website before, so maybe maybe we could get an interview. I probably should already have like a list of questions to send before I send this. I mean, that's a super short email. I feel like I should have like all the questions I would ask and stuff. But we'll see if they email back. I'm gonna imagine no, but we'll see. What's up, Yuku? How you doing, man? Yeah, hopefully we can keep streaming. My channel pretty much is dead now. I don't know if anyone noticed that. My channel pretty much died. Getting less views than ever. I mean, I just started the stream, but the stream's doing well, I would say. But overall, the channel is not doing good anymore. That little hiatus screwed me over, it seems like. Or, you know, it could be the stock's down, so people are upset. I'm sure that's part of it as well, but it's probably more that you know, I was posting every single day and streaming every single day, and then I just completely stopped. But it is what it is. Can't do anything about that. That's what happens when you're a homeowner. Instead of focusing on the thing I want to focus on, I have to focus on some homeowner shit. And it seemed to have hindered the progress. Or like I said, you know, it could be because the stock's down. That's definitely a possibility, but I feel like it's more that I just stopped posting every day. Seems more realistic. What's up, B-Dub? I was able to vote with my computer shares. I got a vote thing from there, but still trying to figure out how to vote my shares in Schwab, which I've already called them and talked to them a little bit. They said they don't send emails out until it's 40 days out. So the annual meeting is July 7th, right? Yeah, July 7th. Well, it says 10 a.m., so I guess, you know, we still have 3 hours until 40 days, but let me see here. 1, 2, 3. Well, I mean, I don't know if you count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, see, it's 40 days out. So I should be getting the email from Schwab in like 2-3 hours, I feel like, isn't it? What time's the annual meeting? 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. What's that? Central Daylight Time. So an hour ahead. So, yeah, in like 2 hours, potentially I should be getting the email, because that would be 40 days out. But I guess if I don't hear anything, or I don't get any emails or anything, I guess I'll call them again tomorrow. I also could call whatever this is, Okapi Partners, the proxy solicitor. Probably call them too, but I guess I'll just do that tomorrow. What's up, Grady? Yeah, early stream. The plumbers didn't end up coming yesterday, of course. So, hoping by some miracle they come today. Who knows, though, at this point. I mean, they were gonna come tomorrow, but I told them, they were gonna come in the evening, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to, have my plumbing done in the evening. It needs to be done when nobody's home, because you can't use water, or you can't use anything up. You can't use anything, literally. They're cutting out the main line of your house, so like you literally can't use anything. So it's like, bro, nobody needs to be home. Like, nobody can be home. It looks like they increased their share position, and instead of filing a 13D or whatever, they put it under one of these 425s. It's kind of interesting. What's up, Hugh? Yeah, it says they still have the 25,000 shares, but expiring February 23rd, 2028. with a financial institution counterparty that provide economic exposure to basically 33.5 million shares of common stock. And what's really funny is if you do 448 divided, or you would do 33,497 divided by 448. I don't know the exact share count, but 7.4%. I mean, I think it's actually 7.41% exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know the exact share count. I think if we do the exact share count with this, let's figure out the exact share count. How do we figure it out? I forget. I mean, the share count should be changing all the time. I think you can see it here in the ARS. What's up, Isaiah? How you doing, man? Do they have the share count here? I feel like they should. Yeah, right here. So you do the 33,497,000 divided by 448,375,157. Oh, so it's 7.47% if you're being exact, but obviously for the memes, you got to do it for the memes, bro. It's got to be 7.41% or whatever the fuck. Because that was the short interest of Volkswagen, 74.1%. So kind of interesting. It's interesting that they are like... It's interesting that they put it here. Like, instead of doing another 13D or something. Maybe they don't have to do a 13D. Maybe that's why it's here. But pretty interesting. Did the last 425 have a increase as well? Or is this new to this one? I don't know. Yeah, see, it's new to that one. Because the last one they uploaded on yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Still said 29 million shares, but the new one says 33, well, almost 33.5. You're 3,000 shares away, or options. So technically you got 335,000 options or whatever. What's up, Break Nation? How you doing, man? Oh, man. It's early. I haven't done an early stream like this in a while, bro. It's been a while. I think there's there's this video. I don't know what these guys are. The Activism Governance from Investor and Board Perspectives, Second Princeton CorpGov Forum. I don't know what this is, but they talk about GameStop. So we'll probably react to this. At least the GameStop part. I don't know if it's all about GameStop. It looks like a lot of it is, but then they go on to some other stuff. So we'll probably review that here in a little bit. I'm sure I'll lose my voice again. I feel like I'm already losing my voice and we're like 15 minutes in. For some reason I woke up sick again. I don't know why. Moose. How you doing, Moose? I don't feel as bad as I've been feeling, but I just woke up feeling weird again today. I don't know why I've been so sick lately. It sucks. Ryan Cohen's 100% going to get this done. Can't wait to hear what all these financial experts have to say when it's done. We'll see. We'll see. Might take a long time. Definitely committed. Selling puts and buying calls is crazy. Is eBay shares up today too? Holy shit, this thing's still going down. It's crazy how I guess eBay shares are down today, so maybe that could be why GameStop's down, but it's pretty interesting how essentially GameStop probably has more quote unquote cash than they've ever had if you're factoring in like equity. Well, it's not even, I mean, derivatives, whatever. You know, they're probably sitting on like close to 12 billion at this point. If, you know, not even counting Bitcoin and the merchandise. And the stock is just priced so poorly. It's very interesting how poorly the price or the stock price is. It's very weird. But hopefully hopefully everything gets approved for the votes. I want to see the 2.5 billion share outstanding get voted in, because I mean they make a good point on why we should vote for that, because they only have like 97 million shares they can do for an offering, because they've exhausted so much of the billion one already. So it would just put them in a really good position to take advantage of the market if you ever see a re-rating or a short squeeze or something, if that's something that's going to happen again, obviously. Not really what I think, but you never know. So I think it would be better for them to have the right to be able to issue those shares in those moments. Can I full screen this? Is there no full screen? There's gotta be. Oh. Vimeo.
We're going to make this a little bit of a fireside chat.
You guys are quiet.
And so it's nice to sit side by side with the lawyer and try to...
You guys are super quiet. Super quiet. Try getting this set up.
Make this a 20-minute session, which can be
I'm happy that
they're
you're
so
here
quiet,
right now,
bro.
because that means
They are so quiet. Let me do a little bit more. Do like 12 decibels or something. I don't know. They are so quiet.
So we're going to make this a little bit of a fireside chat. And so it's nice to sit side by side with the lawyer and try to make this a 20-minute session, which can be...
How does it sound, chat? On my end, it seems so quiet. Like, I've turned up the decibels a lot for you guys, but on my end, it is so quiet.
I'm happy that you're here right now, because that means you're not terrorizing any of my clients.
Well,
This whole thing was a ruse.
yes.
To stop you from collecting votes against my boards.
I am off site. That is correct. Mission accomplished. But
Although I heard you have a pretty big team that really does all the dirty work.
well, I do
I have
as
no
much
clue who
dirty
these
work
guys are either.
as possible.
You may call it the Lord's work. But,
We're sometimes on opposite sides of the fence on these things, but
we work together.
Yeah.
We've been on the same side.
Yep.
That's the right side when we're working together.
yes, always. But I thought it'd be interesting to chat with Lawrence about a high-profile situation that is ongoing right now, and that is GameStop.
All right, so
It'd be interesting. Always.
So it starts somewhere right there. Let's see. They can't pay back the debt. That would be the evolution of the bear narrative. I mean, what would even be the debt payment on that? 20 billion. Assume their interest rate is like, I don't know. What do you think it would be? Like 10%, 8%? I feel like it'd be low. I don't think it'd be like over 12. You know, let's just do 12. Let's just do 12. Just to see. So 2.4 billion in interest payment. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. But, you know, first year he's going to come in and cut enough costs to pay for the interest on the debt. What if it's like 8% though? So it's going to be anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 billion for the interest payments per year. But like I said, he's going to be able to pay that immediately. And that's just first year. He's going to be able to afford the debt or the interest payments on the debt easily. But they might cut way more than that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a worry. Gme owns a bunch of eBay. eBay goes down. Gme goes down. eBay goes up. Gme goes down. They're kind of forcing our hand. It only makes sense to vote yes. Yeah, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote yes when I get the chance. I already, like I said, I voted my computer shares, but for some reason Schwab won't send me the email. And when I called Schwab, they said they had they don't send the email out until 40 days out, which it's 40 days out in exactly 2 hours, or exactly an hour actually. It'll be exactly 40 days out from the exact time and date of the share or the annual meeting. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure out how to vote my shares on the broker. Because I thought I did it last time. I just don't remember. And it doesn't, and my computer share ones didn't tell me like how many shares I'm voting for or anything like that. So I'm just not really sure. 1 second. Kitty. Oh, kitty. There's a fat cat on my floor. Just being a fat cat. I need to text the fucking plumber real quick. Try to see what time they're gonna be here. Just sitting in traffic, getting ready for work. Dang, it's early. You guys aren't even at work yet. You guys are on your commute. That's crazy. That's actually insane, bro. I haven't been on stream this early in so long. You guys are commuting right now. Welcome to the wacky trading show with the Roaring Gory. Whoa! I'm gonna be here with your I don't know what day it is. Wednesday morning drive, and I hope you're ready to play some classics like Lambo Season. Push start and I go. And it's Lambo Season. Oh, this is your daily traffic update. It looks like traffic is bullshit, and you're gonna be sitting there for a while, so you better sit back and relax and enjoy some quality music. Pew 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 pew. Push start and I go, and it's Lambo Season. I should be a radio host, bro. I should be a radio host. I need a fucking soundboard. You know how funny it'd be to have a soundboard? Maybe I'll get a soundboard soon. That'd be hilarious. The Wacky Waving Trading Show. Oh, dude. I have a video for you guys to watch. It's pretty crazy. Reckless Ben. Whenever you guys have time, this guy named Reckless Ben, he's been a YouTuber for a while, but he made this investigation video. I tracked down a thief who stole 200,000 of Legos, and honestly, this is like such a good video, bro. Such a good video, and it's also super. Just everything about this video is good, and also it's like a real life investigation. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting to see how scummy people are, and it's like about bricks and minifigs. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like some Lego company, or I don't know exactly what you would call them, but definitely worth watching if you guys have an hour and a half of. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's a really good, beyond like, even if you're not interested in this stuff, it's just a really well put together YouTube video. But I'd imagine most of you would like this video. It's good. I haven't ever watched like this guy before. But yeah, that is a a wild video. I'm already out getting the worm, getting the Pokemon, bro. You out at a Target line somewhere? What store are you at right now, Break Nation? Costco? Target? I feel like it's too late in the day for Target. They open early. It's fine for all these other companies to have debt, though. Yeah, if you're raising debt to build an AI data center, bro, stock goes to the moon. But if you raise debt to buy eBay, no, no, no. No, no, no. Naughty little boy. Your stock go down now. Your stock go down. You cannot raise debt to buy eBay. You must build AI data center. Yes, sir. AI data center, the only way you use your debt. You build AI data center, you make AI video, you use AI assistant. Very good, very good. You'll be very happy. Your bill, your electricity bill go up 300-400%. But it's okay because you use AI and everything's okay. Hit like. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. After the 10th straight time of playing Lambo Season. Oh, we have another request coming in. What is that? It's Lambo Season. We got a live caller on the line. Yeah, I'd like to hear Lambo Season. That's a really good song. You guys haven't played it in a while. Oh, we got you. Lambo Season coming right up. Beep, 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 beep. Vroom. Vroom. Just making car noises with my mouth. Vroom. Corporate's blaming their franchise, and franchise is blaming corporate. They're stalling too, so they can make money off of it. Unless they haven't even sold it. I mean, they could just be sitting on it, because I bet it's all like Legos you can't get anymore. So they're just going to go up in value. You know, they're worth $200,000 now, but those Legos probably in like 5, 10, 20 years are going to be over $1 million for sure. Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, and also just like it's crazy how they talk to Josh, the dude who actually owns the store, and you can just scammers are weird, bro. Scammers are weird. They're just weird people. Not when you know the vendor, but I'm actually doing my real job. Oh, nice. John Maloney bit about Tom Jones. What's new Pussycat? I almost crashed my car listening to it because I was crying laughing. No, I don't know if I've ever listened to John Maloney. I don't think I've ever listened to him. Who are these guys? Corp Gov. They don't get like any views. I'm gonna my video reacting to their video is gonna get more views than all their videos combined. That's pretty insane. These fucking boomers need to get off Vimeo. YouTube, bro. You guys know what YouTube is? You guys ever heard of YouTube? Why are you on Vimeo? Yeah, these guys aren't even on YouTube. Why are they posting on Vimeo but not YouTube? That makes literally 0 sense. Like, who the hell uses Vimeo, bro? Like, actually. Does anyone... what? What the hell is Vimeo, anyway? I don't think I've ever used Vimeo in my life. I'm about to listen to Lambo Season. I'll do it. It's a good song. It's a good song, bro. Can't go wrong with Lambo Season. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I think Vimeo used to be like the... Wasn't it like TikTok before TikTok? Or am I thinking of something else? I might be thinking of something else. Like Lively or something. I thought Vimeo was TikTok before TikTok. Isn't this where like Logan Paul and all those guys blew up? Vimeo? Or am I thinking of something else? Oh, Vine. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of Vine. You're right. I am thinking of Vine. What's up, Andrew Martin? Have I ever seen that name in here before? I have. What's up, Andrew Martin? Hope you're doing good. I remember Vine. I don't. I was like late to the social media game. I used to think like smartphones and I mean, I still kind of do, but I used to think like, I don't know, I just never had a smartphone. I always had a flip phone for years, even when smartphones came out. And then, even when I got a smartphone, I never really like downloaded apps or anything like that. I was late to the game for sure. I made YouTube videos when YouTube first came out. I used the unregistered hypercam and made like RuneScape videos. Oh man, if only I still had those videos. That'd be awesome to look back at. But those videos don't exist anymore, I don't think. I wonder if they do actually. Let me see. I don't think they do. But I wonder. Nah, there's no way it would suggest a video like that. That's some old shit. Nah. No way. That'd be crazy if, can you sort it by date or something? No. Oh well. Smartphones are the tool of the devil. They kind of are, bro. They kind of are. Vine created a lot of brain rot patient zeros. It was just an experiment. Vine was the Vine was the I don't know what I'm trying to say. Kind of interesting though. All right, I guess let's react to something before I lose my voice. Plumber hasn't hit me back, so fuck, if they don't come today, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Whatever. What can you expect, bro? I honestly don't want to be a homeowner anymore. Like, the second the economy's good, or the the housing market's good, I wouldn't be surprised if I sold my house. Straight up. Like, this is a joke. Like, this is actually a joke. Alright. Let's see what these guys got to say. See if we can make a stream clip out of this.
But I thought it'd be interesting to chat with Lawrence about a high-profile situation that is ongoing right now, and that is GameStop. And that's a situation where we have a buyer, which is GameStop, trying to go after eBay, which is a dramatically larger company, and it's a unique situation for a number of reasons. Well, obviously due to the size of the company, and Ryan Cohen, who's the CEO of GameStop, has a real meme stock cult following and a real activist reputation, and the size of the company, and also GameStop itself is one of the most psychologically charged stocks in the market. And Lawrence, what is your take on this situation?
I agree with everything he said so far. GameStop is pretty culty, and it does seem like it's very psychological to a lot of people. A lot of people get super excited when the stock's going down, and a lot of people get super upset when the stock, or god damn it, I fucked that up. Restart. Restart. No. Oh, no. Not again. Oh, no. It's not gonna go good. It's not gonna go good. Try again. If you fail once and you don't succeed, you try again. Meow is spelled in the middle of homeowner, if that makes you feel any better. Thank you, Grady. That does, actually. It makes it funny. Live in a van. If something happened between me, my girl, and I'll be buying a van and pretty much living at Lifetime Fitness. I would love to do that, but yeah, I can't, unfortunately. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Living in a van down by the river sounds lit. Oh yeah, it does. Just chilling, have all your money in GameStop. If you need money, you'd sell some options or something. If the stock's actually up, you could take profits instead of just getting fucked by Ryan. Like, it'd be great. It'd be great. Grab some coffee. I don't drink coffee. It makes me like have to piss so much every time. I don't like coffee. I don't like the feeling of like caffeine either. It just is too insane. I don't like it. Do you have a shorter position on this? Do I have a short position? Wait, what? I don't know what you're asking. A short position? Why does is that the new thing people are trying to come at me with? They all think I'm short GameStop? I wish. I wish. Being short GameStop would be sick. You'd actually be making money instead of getting wrecked by Ryan. But nah, I'm a bag holder like all of you. Probably a bigger bag holder than all of you. If I'm just being straight up, I'm probably a bigger bag holder than all of you. and it sucks ass. So, you know, I wish I had a short position. That'd be awesome. But unfortunately, I'm a scrub. We depressed or whatever Khaled says. Finally made it. Not sure why traffic's worse on a clear sunny day. I guess everyone's excited to get to work. I don't know. Push started its RV season. If you're moving too slow, you probably see my RV. I don't know. I don't know. Let's make this stream clip though. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, chat. Where does it start? Here?
But I thought it'd be interesting to chat with Lawrence about a high-profile situation that is ongoing right now, and that is GameStop. And that's a situation where we have a buyer, which is GameStop, trying to go after eBay, which is a dramatically larger company. And it's a unique situation for a number of reasons. Well, obviously due to the size of the company. And Ryan Cohen, who's the CEO of GameStop, has a real meme stock cult following and a real activist reputation. And the size of the company, and also GameStop itself is one of the most psychologically charged stocks in the market. And Lawrence, what is your take on this?
I do agree with that. Ryan Cohen does have the craziest cult following, or GameStop, whatever you want to relate it to. I think if Ryan Cohen left GameStop, GameStop wouldn't be as popular as it currently is. I would say the bet is mainly on Ryan Cohen. But I also agree that GameStop is super psychological to people in the market. Everyone has an opinion on GameStop. They're mostly negative. And people really only get excited about it when the stock is going up because they think it's going to short squeeze and they're going to make this huge bag. And that's probably why, you know, anytime it hits $30 or around $30, the stock sells off massively because a bunch of people FOMO in, and then, you know, the market shorts it back down to where it's valued, even though potentially it's super undervalued right now. GameStop is trading under a 10 billion market cap, and that's pretty interesting considering they're more successful than they've ever been currently. But let's see what else these guys got to say. I don't know why these guys post their videos on Vimeo. I don't know. They should be posted on YouTube, but at least I'm giving them the exposure they deserve, I suppose. I'm not really sure who these guys are or what they're about to talk about, but let's get into it.
Situation.
I think it's you know, it's a fascinating situation. It's getting a lot of media attention. I wouldn't underestimate Ryan Cohen and GameStop.
Wow, he wouldn't underestimate Ryan Cohen. No wonder this video has no views. See, this is what I'm talking about, chat. People who have a positive view on the market or GameStop or just anything in general, they don't get views, they don't get traction, nobody talks about them. People only want to talk about the negatives. They only want to talk about the popular narrative of GameStop, which is mostly negative. Pretty interesting so far.
You know, the performance on CNBC, for those of you who saw it, was a bit underwhelming. It was a bit scripted. Over scripted, and it was, you know, way too succinct. But
I don't think the CNBC interview was scripted at all, and also it wasn't underwhelming by any means. It was one of the most viral things I think a multi-billion-dollar CEO has ever done. So pretty interesting as far as I'm concerned.
You know, like in presidential debates. He'll resurface. He'll be on CNBC again. He'll probably be more prepared, and he'll be better able to explain the value proposition and the math behind how he expects to come up with all the money to buy the company. I think that
These guys obviously haven't watched any of the other interviews, because if they watched the other interviews, they would know that he's given a lot more detail to smaller mediums. It was really only CNBC where he was kind of... It just didn't seem like he wanted to be there, but maybe that was the goal. I'm not really sure. He did go extremely viral, so say what you want about that CNBC interview, but everybody is talking about Ryan Cohen.
You know, the GameStop story is a very interesting one. You know, the history there is there was an initial activist called Hestia Capital, run by someone named Kurt Wolf, who's a very talented investor, and he had a relatively small hedge fund, maybe $5 million, and he put $3 million of that $5 million into GameStop. Right in the middle of the pandemic, like literally 2020 was his first campaign against the company. They settled. He got a board seat.
Yeah, if you watch the old Roaring Kitty streams, he would talk about Hestia quite a bit. But I didn't know much about Hestia, so this is a great video, honestly. Really good.
Then he came back around again, you know, again, in the earlier year into the pandemic. He ran a proxy fight. He got 2 board seats through the proxy fight. And I believe what happened was Ryan Cohen, who had made a lot of money in Chewy, which I think he sold to, was it PetSmart or Petco? PetSmart, one of the pet companies. He made a lot of money, really developing the first e-commerce business for pet supplies, pet goods, pet food. He saw.
How impressive is it that these guys actually know their history and have done their research, whereas all the popular YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of views have the worst takes ever. This video literally has like 4 views.
That Kurt had so much conviction in GameStop in the middle of a pandemic, and what folks would have thought was a dying company, that he put 60% of his entire hedge fund into GameStop. He said, well, this guy either has, there's something wrong here, or this guy's onto something. Now, the stock was heavily shorted at the time, and you know, Ryan made a substantial investment of around 10% of the company. There was a short squeeze, and he was able, through that short squeeze, the stock went from like 2 to 200. He was able to raise money in the capital markets, throughout the market offerings, and completely cleaned up the company's balance sheet. And over the next several years, he's really...
I don't think Ryan Cohen was on the board or had anything to do with the stock offerings and the squeeze. I could be wrong. Maybe he was on the board, but he wasn't CEO for sure until like 2022 or something, right? So I don't think he had really anything to do with the stock offerings. Maybe he did, but also the stock went from like $2, $3, $4, $5 to over 400, not 200. He's kind of underestimating it a little bit.
Cut a lot of costs out of the business, and turn the business around. It is trading at about its cash. It's sitting on maybe $8 or $9 billion of cash. So I'm still not sure how much value the market is placing on the GameStop business, but shareholders have said, Ryan, we want you to have a pool of cash to do something with. I think he looks at eBay as an opportunity to cut costs. He thinks he can run it better, and he thinks he can, make more money for the shareholders of eBay than the current board of management can. I think if he's going to come back, it's a different playbook than when you're looking for board seats and when you're looking to take a company over or take a company private. He really has to show the value proposition. He's got to really sharpen the math for the shareholders of eBay to make the point that what you're left with, because this is a take under, we're much smaller than you, but I have a clear pathway to create a lot more value for you for the 60% of GameStop eBay that you'll own. as opposed to the 100% of eBay that you own right now. For the 60% of the combined that you're going to own, I'm going to create so much more value for you in 1, 3, and 5 years than you're poised to get right now. So I think he's going to have to do more to get their attention in terms of the value proposition and, of course, the math. Where are you coming up from the money? The simple 1 + 1 did not equal 2 in the.
I pretty much agree with everything he's saying so far, but I don't know that Ryan needs to prove anything about where he's going to get the cash from or anything like that. I think that's extremely obvious. The reason why they denied his offer is because they're going to fire the board. They're going to fire a lot of the management team, and they're going to cut a lot of fat from eBay. And, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And the grander scheme of Ryan Cohen making eBay a multi-$100 billion business. And of course, they're not going to see Ryan Cohen's value proposition because they think doing buybacks and just making the stock go up through buybacks is how you are successful. But they don't know anything about business. They're just people who got hired onto eBay that may or may not even know anything about running a business. They just know how to make a stock price go up. I don't know. Like I've said, I haven't done too much research on eBay's business. I haven't really had time, but yeah, I don't think Ryan really has anything to prove to these people. He just needs to get shareholders on his side enough that they'll vote for him, I would say. And if they're not going to vote for him, he just has to have enough people get control of eBay shares to where the majority of vote is for him.
Offer letter that I read, and he needed to do a better job when he's on TV and when he's talking to the board, ultimately explaining the value proposition. Now maybe he'll try to intermediate and get his bankers from TD Bank involved in talking to the company's bankers about the math and the value proposition, but his efforts are going to fall on deaf ears if he cannot articulate the value proposition and the math. Now, it's a different playbook if he wants to try to get board seats. I think that'll be difficult for him because he said he wants to take the company over. So it's hard to say, I want to take the company over, you won't let me, so let me put directors in the boardroom so they can just sell the company to me. That's going to be difficult for him to do too. There's a playbook for that, though.
For a lot of reasons, by the way. Since I'm a proxy solicitor.
Little conflict, yeah.
I'll tell you why in a minute, but let me ask you another question. Do you think, and I think some investors are skeptical about Cohen's reason for going after eBay. Do you think it is?
I don't think anyone who's been following Ryan Cohen is skeptical about this, but I could see why a majority of the market would be skeptical for sure.
Is just to raise his profile as an activist and to raise GameStop's profile, or do you think it's really he's legitimately going after it?
Very good question. I think he legitimately wants to be running a much bigger business and organization.
Right.
I think GameStop's business kind of has a cap on how much it can grow. So Ryan thinks that eBay has maybe not unlimited growth, but a much larger potential for growth than GameStop. Like GameStop probably realistically would cap out at like $3 billion in net income a year, whereas eBay could potentially make 10, 20, $30 billion in net income a year. I think it's extremely apparent why he's going for eBay. And then also, you know, GameStop and eBay's business together could increase that cap of GameStop. Like maybe with eBay's business combined with GameStop and they start introducing the live selling or being able to trade in anything rather than just games and trading cards. I think that would grow GameStop's business by quite a bit. And maybe it could be a company that's bringing in $5+ billion in net income a year. And then you have, you know, the eBay business complementing that as well.
Uh, eBay's a great name, and I do think he'd love to end up like pie in the sky. Would love to end up with. I'd love to be on the board of Berkshire Hathaway. I think he would aspire to have a business like eBay, but to your point, and this is common with activist hedge funds as well, the campaign is sometimes as much about marketing for the next campaign as it is about the current campaign and the current objectives. So right. I agree with the underpinning of your question that there is more than meets the eye.
And by the way, this is how smart Lawrence is. I have pages of notes on this. Lawrence just has a few squiggly lines on his pad just to make sure his pen works. So just for the record, just to let you know. A couple of questions. Again, as
that guy definitely does seem like he's pretty tapped into this story. Maybe he's actually a GameStop investor. Who knows?
As a proxy solicitor, this is how I look at these things. First of all, to get shareholder approval, it's going to be really hard if it ever comes down to that. And I said we can talk about that in a second. But also, how do like investors feel about how he's going to finance or how he would finance a take under of eBay?
It's a great question. I mean, investors didn't react negatively initially in the market. The stock went up. Now, that could have been meme. It could have been fundamentals. It could have been something else going.
Why is the stock going up always a meme? It's so weird, but whatever.
On totally outside of eBay and Ryan Cohen, but there was a stock price reaction and there was volume. So some new shareholders rushed into the stock.
Oh yeah, I bet a lot of new shareholders rushed in just like they always do when the stock's trading at 25 to 30. And then historically for the past 2 years, it just gets sold off and a bunch of people get wrecked. And you can see it in my YouTube channel views. We are getting so many more views, so much more engagement. And then as soon as the stock drops, it's back to nothing. It is what it is, but people just get excited because the stock price is up. They don't necessarily care about the investment, I would say.
I think that shareholders, in order for this to get to shareholders, the board and the board's advisors need to be convinced that there is a bird in the hand in terms of a cash or stock value proposition with no contingencies to closing, and that to the extent that stock is involved, that there is a value proposition on the other end where, again, owning 60% of the combined company or whatever the math is, is going to generate more return in the long run than 100% of eBay. And that's a very high hurdle when you're the minnow and you're trying to eat up the shark. I think it's a big showing. It's unusual. We don't usually see deals like this get done, but that's the type of showing that would be necessary, particularly if you're going to be taking stock in the combined new company. I would want to be very sure, turning back to my own LPs, my own investors, whomever they are, that by agreeing to do this deal, I'm making the right value proposition for their money.
Right, and also
I think it's definitely going to be beneficial for anyone who's invested in GameStop or eBay, because Ryan's going to turn it into a multi-$100 billion company. If the current management team stays at eBay, they're just going to run that business into the ground like they're going to. They went from over 20 billion in assets a few years ago to now they're sitting on like 17, 18 billion. The business isn't growing. They're not growing users. They're not growing net income. Actually, their net income is down from the past couple years. So on the current trajectory, eBay's business potentially won't be around in like 10, 20 years. But if Ryan can come in and take it over and turn it into the business it should be, rather than just focusing on buybacks and stock-based compensation and trying to squeeze every little bit of profit out of the shares, eBay could become something that will last forever, just like GameStop.
When looking at how the proxy advisory firms would opine on this type of transaction, when you look at things like a highly confident letter and that type of approach to these types of deals, ISS doesn't necessarily fully support that type of transaction. And then when I look at the shareholder base of eBay, for example, should a proxy contest evolve out of this and eBay shareholders need to vote, 25% of eBay is held by the big index funds, who don't necessarily often vote for the activist, which has become a bigger problem in recent years for activists. So I don't know, Lawrence, if you have anything to say on that.
Yeah, a few things. ISS and Glass Lewis, the proxy advisory firms, are not going to want to put shareholders through a special meeting with a positive recommendation on a deal if they don't think that that deal can get done and is going to create value. They don't want any unintended consequences. It's a phrase that the proxy advisory firms use a lot. They don't want unintended consequences on M&A. They don't want unintended consequences on recommending that dissident directors get in the boardroom. They want to be as friction-free as possible because ISS has a lot of investor customers and they rely on their recommendations, at least until ISS and Glass Lewis are regulated out of existence, which could happen over the next few years. That's the case. So for a highly confident letter, I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Tommy Boy. People seen the movie Tommy Boy? There's I'm not going to be graphic about it, but there was a customer of Callahan Auto brake pads who really wanted a guarantee stamped on the box, and Chris Farley's character says, well, I could do something very special with the box and put a guarantee on it. I got plenty of spare time, but it's just a stamp. A highly confident letter is just a highly confident letter. If
I don't know if the Tommy Boy example really works here. A company being a bank being highly confident that they'll loan you $20 billion probably isn't the same thing as the example he's trying to give, but overall, this video is really good. These guys seem somewhat educated on the topic, and they're not just trying to push the popular narrative or trying to, do some meme, whatever nonsense things most people talk about when they talk about GameStop. So I really like this perspective on GameStop.
I can. This is a highly confident letter. I can. You could see a situation where ISS and Glass Lewis, the last thing they'd want to do is recommend for a deal, have it go to a shareholder vote, and then have the deal not close because the highly confident letter was all it was the high confidence, and then the money wasn't there. So they need to see cash in hand, stock in hand, no contingencies to closing, certainty, value proposition. And BlackRock and Vanguard want to see the same thing too. They're in the stock. They have to be in the stock of both GameStop and of eBay, and they're going to own both of them, a bigger piece of both of them in the event that a deal got done. So they would want to be super certain that it made economic sense for them as well. So the value proposition would have to be there. Now, in a proxy fight for board seats, BlackRock and Vanguard and ISS and Glass Lewis, they don't like conflicts. That creates an unintended consequence. You're going to put directors in a boardroom that are just going to do what one shareholder wants and pursue that one agenda. It's going to be very tough. And if Ryan Cohen wants to go the proxy fight route against eBay, he's going to have to sell the company to himself, he's going to have to get a majority of the board. That's a very tall order. He's going to have to show that there's prolonged company underperformance, that there are conflicts of interest and major governance problems at the board level, and that he has a plan to come in, take management over of the company and fix it. It's an extremely high bar, probably unprecedented. But if he's serious about it and he's working with very serious advisors, and TD Bank has an MD who covers activism, who's very adept at activism campaigns on offense and defense, if he does press forward with it, there will be an articulated campaign, and I'm waiting to see how the math shakes out, but it's going to be a high bar.
And the bar for board.
I just don't have much to say. These guys, I really like their perspective. They kind of get it, so there's just not much to say about it. Looks like this guy's sound might have cut out though, which sucks.
Control is much higher than that for.
Oh man, his sound cut off, bro.
Yeah, and the activist that ran a proxy fight against GameStop 2 years in a row went for 1 or 2 seats. And it was, that's a low bar, right? Is some change necessary to bring fresh perspectives into the boardroom to set the company on the right path? If yes, are the activist candidates able to help push those changes along? That's a pretty easy standard.
So,
yeah, I don't know why these guys don't have a YouTube channel. I feel like this video would do well, and, they probably have better perspectives than most people on YouTube talking about stocks, but for some reason they post on Vimeo and get like no views.
okay, so just one. We'll wrap with one final question.
Gosh, it's so quiet, man.
Just one final thing to talk about. I know nobody ever hears about politics these days. It's never on the news. But in the world of major political swings in the administration, what's your feeling about just the risk of companies like over-rotating?
I don't know if they're talking about GameStop anymore.
He's going from one extreme to the other.
To the left during the Biden administration.
Yeah, now they're talking about politics.
Against Cracker Barrel by an activist who had fought them and lost. You've probably worked with him in the past. To the left.
Yeah, I think that was it on the GameStop
environment. So when
weird
when we think of.
But that was a really good video. I liked that perspective. It was a nice perspective. A nice, I don't know, it's just different, man. You just don't get that perspective of GameStop from, like, people who are actual, like, market participants, or... that guy was, one of those guys was a proxy solicitor, I guess, but, they actually have real jobs inside the financial markets, whatever. You just don't get that perspective, bro. You get fake wannabe, traders, you get fake financial advisors, fake investors. That's all you get when it comes to GameStop, it seems like. There's no legitimate people in the market talking about GameStop, and those guys seem pretty legit, so I liked that. I enjoyed it. It was pretty tough to hear. Their volume was trash. But I just got a text during that reaction that supposedly my plumber's supposed to be coming, so as soon as he gets here, let me look outside real quick. Yeah, he's not here yet. He's not here yet, but should be here soon. Yeah. Yeah, that kid shorts GameStop, and for some reason he thinks I care. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. These guys actually need to get a YouTube. They're not bad. Contact them. This actually would be a decent collaboration. I could look into it. I don't know how I would contact them though. Let's see. They have a lot of videos. I don't know how I would contact them. They don't have like a way. I mean, if I had a Vimeo account, maybe I could message them. Oh, wait. Right here. This is their channel. Wait, that's Vimeo. I thought that was YouTube. Is it these? I don't know if it's these guys. Oh, it is these guys. How do you contact? Oh, I could email them. Email the editor. Maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I'll look into that. That could be interesting. They probably won't collaborate, but you never know. You never know. What do I expect? They're on Vimeo. Kaluka, what's up, Kaluka? We all should listen to his short story. You do care, otherwise you wouldn't be so hostile every time, even if I speak like a normal person with you. I don't know who got hostile. I just said that you think I care that you're shorting it. I mean, you had to mention it, even though you already know I know. You still had to mention it in the chat. So it's not really being hostile when I'm just pointing out a fact, an observation. If I don't come in my chat every single day. I bought GameStop. I'm a GameStop owner. I'm the best. No, I don't even do that in my own stream, but for some reason you feel like you have to come and type that in my chat. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's a little weird that you care so much about my opinion on your short. I don't know. It's a little weird. Calm down, you sound insane. I am insane. You didn't know? I am insane. You know how I got these scars? You know how I got these scars? I did buy GameStop this morning, and I'm indeed the best. Nothing's ever gonna break. Never gonna break. Never gonna break. Never gonna break. Isn't this a GME stock focused channel? You don't allow other theses than yours, like hold the absolute truth or something? What's your thesis? You haven't shared your thesis. You've just talked about shorting the stock. Look, I literally have your channel activity right here, bro. I literally have here. Let's blow it up for the chat. Let me blow it up here for the chat so we all can see. Let's see your thesis. I don't even know how to do this. How do I pop out the chat? There we go. Here, let's see this guy's thesis. You guys ready for this guy's thesis? Let's see. Haha. Oh, wait. You were long the stock? Oh, that's APLD, maybe. I didn't do on APLD. Okay, so you're from APLD. Let's see. I asked if you still believe in GME, and you instantly started attacking me. Typical GME investor. I said it feels like you can't even read properly. Man, this is some good analysis. This is a good thesis. Actually, my best trade in my life is Planter. My second best trade is RKLB. You guys should hedge with puts to make profit on the dilution, close them when it's done, and buy calls on the way back. Man, that's some solid... Dude, this is a solid GameStop thesis right here. This is a solid short thesis, bro. You guys see that? You guys see that DD right there, bro? That's some good DD, bro. Woo! Solid DD right there. Damn, bro. I think we all should short. I think we should all short the stock with that DD, bro. Whew! That's some heat right there. That's some heat DD, bro. That's a good reason to short the stock. God, this guy's a fucking idiot. Share your thesis. Instead of being a dumbass, share your thesis. I shared it. My thesis is that because of dilution for buying eBay will drop to $10. That's not a thesis. That's not a thesis. Oh my god. That's literally not even a thesis. Holy shit. Why would it go down to $10 because of the dilution? What's the math on that? There's a lot more to a thesis than your simple little, I shorted because of dilution. The stock is gonna get diluted, so it's gonna go down. The stock's gonna go down because of dilution. The stock's already been diluted like 5 times in the past 2 years, but it's gonna go down this time. Insane. Insane. It's gonna go down because of dilution. Don't you guys know what, like, dilution is? Have you guys ever heard of dilution? Captain Hindsight. Captain Hindsight! The stock is gonna go to $10 because of dilution! Ooh, spooky! Spooky! Oh, Lord. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Dilution is so spooky. Dilution spooky. I'm out of here, Corey. All right, Break Nation. Have a good one, bro. Have a good one. I don't know if you're actually leaving or not, but have a good one if you are. You know, you avoid scrolling down to actually see it. It only showed me a little bit. Oh, it actually... Oh, you have more? No, it won't show me anymore. So, you must not know how YouTube works. If there was more, I would have read it. Maybe YouTube's just not showing it. Maybe the video got deleted. Who knows? Could be a lot of things. Jimmy! What's up, Jimmy? How you doing? Where can I read about GME acquiring more percent of eBay? It's on the SEC website, on the newest 425. It's just down here. You click on the 425 and it's just down here. It says economics exposure, further 33.5 million shares of common stock. Well, basically 33.5. I'm rounding up, but whereas if you go to the last 424 from yesterday, it says 29 million shares. So they added a little bit more of the option exposure. And, you know, that's probably because eBay dipped, maybe. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's not a 13D. It's just on the 425. You should do some calculation regarding the 50% stock, transform that into shares, and do the share issuance calculation on current outstanding shares. Can you do that now live, or should I explain it on how you do it? I asked you to do it. Why should I have to do it? And I'm pretty sure we did the I'm pretty sure I remember talking about you with this, and we did the calculation live. And the stock should be trading anywhere from $27 to $36 after the deal, even with the dilution. So, like, if you want to bring your math, whatever the hell math you're doing, sure, go for it. But why should I why should I entertain you? I'm already talking to you. Is that not good enough? You're supposed to give me your thesis. Why should I do your thesis for you? That doesn't make any sense. I don't give a fuck. You think I care that you think the stock's going to go to $10? I think the stock's going to go to 100 or 200 or more. You know, the time frame is decades, but do you think I care about your opinion that the stock is going to go to $10 when I think it's going to go much, much higher? Yeah, I don't. So you can post your math and you can post your calculations, but I'm not doing it for you, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. What are your calculations? This is your argument? Exactly. He probably doesn't even have calculations. He's like, the dilution? The stock's gonna get diluted, so it's gonna go to $10. Well, as if I haven't heard that for the past 2 years. Weekly, monthly, daily sometimes. Yeah. You know how many people have came in here and said, the stock's gonna go to $10 or $15? Like, you're one of hundreds, maybe even thousands at this point. So, if you can't even do your own calculations and give me a reason why you actually think that, then, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's okay, though. It's okay. Hopefully you don't get wrecked. I mean, one of us is going to get wrecked. If you're not going to close your short position, one of us is going to get wrecked. I have a feeling it's going to be you, but we'll see. I'm okay with getting wrecked. Are you? Are you okay with getting wrecked? Your position probably isn't large enough to even care. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, but there's some guy that's short GameStop in the chat, and he's telling me that he has these calculations and why he thinks it's going to go to $10, but he can't post them in the chat for some reason. It's weird how that works. All these bearish people, they're so bearish on GameStop, but they don't have any reason why. They don't have any reason why they're bearish on GameStop. They can't give you a good reason why. Is the dilution? The dilution is the reason it's gonna go down. I only do math on the calculator. What, the calculator? Of course, GME will dip when it gets approved for dilution, but once they say that, they will do with the money of the dip will only be a chance to grab money before it goes 30 plus. How do you know it's gonna dip? Why does everyone just assume that? They did a share offering at fucking $21 and the stock didn't even move. Like a year and a half ago. So I just... Sure, you can have the opinion that it's gonna dip, but that's not reality. That's just not reality. What if they just say no to the deal? Well, then GameStop has $500 million in unrealized profit on this option play. So... probably maybe even more. They could have up to 800 million profit on this option play. So you just take your profits and is what it is. But Ryan Cohen's gonna get GameStop. I'm speaking short term, you're speaking long term. My thesis is short term, 1 year timeline. A 1 year timeline isn't short term, but where's your calculations? You're typing a lot, but you still haven't posted your calculations in the chat. It's crazy how you know how to like type a lot and like try to criticize me because, but I just want to see your calculations. You can, it's easy. Like 1 + 1 = 2. It's very simple. You just put it in the chat. If you don't have the calculations, that's fine. That's fine. But don't sit and act like you're smarter than you actually are. You're just making an uneducated bet, just like most people. And if it works out for you, you know, I mean, you're going to think you're smart, but you're not smart. You're just shorting a stock. It's not hard to make money on the stock market. You click a fucking button and the stock goes up or down. It's takes no skill. So, you know, if you have a reason why you're shorting the stock and why you think it's going to $10, post it. You can't just say it's because of dilution. That's not a reason. That's a stupid reason. Why because of the dilution? I see that's too difficult for you, but maybe you'll figure it out. I'm a grown man acting like an 8-year-old trying to be funny. I mean, I bet there's some people out there that think it's kind of funny. I think it's funny. So if I think it's funny, I think that's all that matters, realistically. I think it's funny. We can all have our opinion, but we don't have to be personal about it. End of the day, we all just want to create wealth for ourselves and our family. Everyone thinks they're right, and time will tell. Exactly. But you should still have a reason why you think the way you think, especially if you're going to have such a bold claim. And I don't know. You know, I've been making streams and, well, not really videos, but I've been streaming about GameStop every single day for 2 years, basically. Anyone who's been here for a long enough time frame knows why I think GameStop's going to go up, and a lot of us probably have the same thesis. But anyone who's short the stock, anyone who's negative about it, I still have yet to see a good thesis on why they think that way, why they short it. Because the dilution, though, that's physical gaming's dying. GameStop's going bankrupt. I think we've heard it all, but those aren't real, legitimate reasons. So, I don't know. Bought 150 shares yesterday. Nice. What's up, Corey? Hey, Corey. My name's Corey. How you doing, Corey? Good to see you, Corey. Good to see you, Corey. It's cringe watching you still come back like a jealous ex-girlfriend trying to convince your BF you're doing better. I just think it's funny. You should do some calculation regarding the 50% stock, transform that into shares, and do the issuance calculation. Why can't he do the calculation? This is his argument. Like, why do I have to do the calculation? For my calculation, it should be trading at a 25 to 30 billion market cap. I don't even really know what the price will be of GameStop and eBay combined. The price will be probably different. It'd probably get a full-on re-rating, but from my calculations, the market cap should be trading at like 25 billion after the deal. So I just don't know where you're getting $10 from. I don't even look at it from a price perspective. I look at it from a market cap perspective. So price is kind of irrelevant. You don't even know what they're going to re-rate that company as. But either way, it's just pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting how someone tells me I need to do my calculations, but they can't even they can't even show me their own calculation. It's very odd. It's very odd. Like I would love to talk about the short thesis if I'm just being 100%. I would love to talk about the short thesis. I would love to talk about why people are bearish on GameStop. But the people who are bearish on GameStop don't have a reason why. It's just they just like make things up. It's crazy. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one and they all stink. Not mine. Not mine. My opinions are all good. My butthole's all good, bro. I see you don't take into consideration the amount of new issued shares on the dilution versus previous normal dilution GME had. So you're not taking in count of how much assets eBay has, the market cap of eBay's stock. You're just looking at dilution. Okay. Okay. So you don't think eBay's assets are going to pay for the dilution and the debt? You're just, that's all you're focused on is the dilution. You're just completely ignoring that eBay has like almost 20 billion in assets, and you could cut costs of up to like $5-10 billion and create $5 to $10 billion of extra net income per year. You're only focusing on dilution when there's this whole like grand scope of other things beyond just dilution. You know, dilution can be positive, just like how it was in 2024 and 2021, where they diluted the shares at like $60-70 and raised billions of dollars in cash. Like, sure, your ownership got declined, but guess what? the business is more valuable because of that. So, was dilution a big deal in that when you're factoring in that? I don't know. I hope it doesn't, but people get scared when they hear dilution. I'll watch and see. I'm not the kind of person that says I believe this, so I'm right and everyone else is wrong. Hey, that's fair, man. I mean, dilution is a scary word, but most companies dilute because their business is declining, their stock is declining, and they're just trying to survive. GameStop is diluting to try to grow the business. It's completely different. I don't think there's any other company on the market. And if there's an example, I would love to see it. But what other company on the market has, quote unquote, diluted, done a share offering when the stock was actually up? I don't know anybody. I'm sure there's somewhere out there, but I don't know. 21 February Gme went from $330 to $40 pre-split. I was there. Nothing phases him anymore. Intel can kick rocks. My Micron's going dummy. What's up, Justin? How you doing? What's up, Creso? I don't feel like I've seen Creso in here before. Has Creso been in here before? Don't look like it. What's up, Creso? I believe GME will go up, and I believe holding GME is a good call, but some other people think otherwise, and that's fine. Yeah, exactly. I would like to know the reason why they think that, though. It'd be nice if they actually, like, gave a good reason why they think the way they think. I feel like the bullish side of GameStop, there's plenty of DD on why people are bullish on GameStop, but the bearish narrative, there's not good DD. There's just stupid little one-liners. Dilution. Physical retail dying. GameStop's a failing business. Like, that's the bear narrative. They don't have any, like, actual good reasons why they're bearish. I think it's hilarious that someone thinks GME is going to 10. It's currently undervalued right now, and I'm going to guess when GME takes over eBay, the stock is going to go up, not down. Most likely. eBay's stock might go down, but the stocks are going to merge. So, like I said, you're going to get a full-on re-rating anyway. So, like, to even say what price it's going to be at it's not even a good analysis, because the price isn't going to matter. The market cap's what's going to matter. You think about it this way. If GameStop's going to $10, that's a 4 or 5 billion market cap. You think GameStop and eBay's business combined is going to be at a 4 or 5 billion market cap when eBay is currently trading at a over 50 billion market cap and GameStop's trading at a 10 billion market cap? Like, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. Literally. It doesn't even make any sense. Oh. GME, please go to $10. I hate sitting on cash. My calculations are private because of my project. Okay. My calculations are private. I can't give you my calculations. Holy shit. What a fucking loser. I'm sorry, but this guy is a fucking loser. Holy shit. That is actually insane. My projections of the valuation in future time, with GME valuing at current value and eBay with 3 scenarios. 1 as of today, 2 10%, 3 15%. What? What are you even saying, dude? You gotta be trolling. There's no way that's real. There's no way you actually typed that out. You have to be trolling, bro. If you're not trolling and you're being serious, that is fucking crazy, actually. Holy shit. Wow. 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 Holy fuck. Insane. Insane. Corey's butthole smells like roses. Trust me, I know. You're a fool after dark, Pavesti. You say your point, but do not elaborate on it. Exactly. Exactly. We got a keyboard warrior. I don't try to convince anyone of shorting GME, never did, and not advising. That's my opinion. And when you initially, a few streams ago, you asked me why I shorted, I told you why. You haven't told me anything. You said that it's going to $10 because of dilution. Why is it going to $10 because of dilution? You haven't told me anything. Oh, man. Dude. There's no way this is a real person right now. Bro, that's crazy, bro. My calculations are private, but do you want me to do the math for you? Come on, man. It's actually insane, bro. It's actually insane. Holy shit. Now that you asked more details regarding my thesis, I explained you the model analysis I used for my thesis, my play, not suggesting anyone short. The dude's got the mentality of an 8-year-old. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not the one over here trying to pretend like I'm smarter than I actually am. I'm just doing my normal live stream I do every single day. Saying the same shit I say all the time. Oh my god. Insane, bro. If that's like a real person, a real opinion and not a troll, that's fucking insane. That's insane. I gotta go, but have a nice day, man. Alright, Jimmy, have a good one, bro. Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate you stopping in, bro. Crunchy peanut butter is just unfinished peanut butter. Comment unrelated. People who eat crunchy peanut butter eat rocks. I love crunchy peanut butter. It's delicious. He makes sense. You, sir, do not. You're not convincing. We're all just asking you to elaborate, not just Corey. You're just dragging out the same info and over. Nothing intelligent. Yeah, nothing intelligent. He's using big words now, guys. We all need to listen. I'm fucking with you. We both had some laughs this stream, and probably everyone in the chat, so it was great. I mean, you just made yourself look stupid, though. I'm sure you don't care, because you're just an anonymous person behind a screen name, so, like, you know, you probably don't care, but, like, you just make yourself look fucking retarded. So, whether you're joking or not, if that was a joke, it was a terrible joke, and it was fucking stupid. It was funny, but the reason why it was funny is because you're an idiot. So, that's if you being an idiot is funny, sure. I mean, that's great. Gaslighting 101. Yeah, it's because he doesn't have fucking calculations. He's probably not even short GameStop. He's probably some dude who FOMO'd in at $25 or $30, and I don't even know. You know, you can't even trust someone like that now. See, now whenever you actually tell the truth of what you do and who you are, nobody's even gonna believe you. We just all think you're an idiot now. So if that was your objective, sure, you succeeded. You succeeded. You succeeded if you wanted to be viewed as an idiot. So congratulations. Good job. I'm gonna need your see your calculations, Grady. He probably doesn't have calculations or gas or lights. Not kidding about my short, that's real. I'm kidding about telling you're a kid. I mean, you're acting like a kid. You're trying to act like all high and mighty because you're short a stock and you can't even give a reason why you're short besides, it's gonna go down because of dilution. Like, that's not... Why is it gonna go down because of dilution? That's a simple question, a very simple question. And if the next chat you post in here doesn't tell me why you're short because of dilution, I will just ban you. So your next chat better have some analysis, or you will be banned. Where Where the fuck is this plumber, dude? Where the fuck is this guy? Ban me? Alright. Later, buddy. Have a good one. Have a good one. Next time I'll ban you forever. If you don't have if you're just gonna come in here and bring no value to the chat, I will just ban you forever. Chris Hansen is on my way. Wait, Chris Hansen? I'm just kidding. It's Caleb Hansen. Could you imagine? Chris Hansen's on his way. Oh shit! Not Chris Hansen. Waiting on a roofer myself. Oh no, that sucks. Fucking homeownership, man. Fucking homeownership. Sadly, I actually want to hear the thesis. He's just got nothing. Same. Literally same. I want to hear the thesis too, but you're not going to get the fucking thesis. Because it's not even real. Maybe he is actually short the stock, but he doesn't even know why he's shorting the stock. Which is hilarious. What if the whole time the plumber is in the chat, send him a link to the stream just in case? That'd be insane. That'd be insane. I'm bullish as fuck, about 30k in stock, but I think and hope we go to 1766. Remember the last Kitty stream, he pulled up the chat and showed prices went all the way back to 10 before takeoff. Yeah, that was 3 years ago, though. 4 years ago. How can you... I get what you're saying, but it's not even close to the same business as it was back then. The fundamentals of the stock aren't the same. The fundamentals of the business aren't the same. I would say the mechanics of the stock are relatively similar, but this is just a completely different investment than it was back then, so it's just probably not going to happen. People have been saying it's going to go below $20 for over 2 years now, and it's just not going to happen. It could. I'll never say it can't happen, but it's not. It's not. After we popped it in May 24 up to the 60s, the price retraced to 1766, then created another bullish pennant till today. I think we go back and then rock it. It's a much larger, better business than it was even 2 years ago. So yeah, when was the last time it hit that price though? You've had nothing but higher lows since that time. If it goes below 1766, the stock's bearish. So that's just not gonna happen because the stock's not bearish. The stock's bullish. The stock's only created higher lows and higher highs for the past 2 years. It hasn't created a single lower low on a long-term scale. So if you think it's going to below $20, you're just bearish on the stock. And that just makes no sense. Why would you be bearish on a clearly bullish stock? Business is way better. I've watched hundreds of stocks. Fundamentals mean shit. I see companies drowning in debt with millions in debt and they have crazy high prices. What does that have to do with anything? Oh, we got some interesting takes in the chat today. You're going to compare companies with debt versus GameStop, which has no debt? You're going to compare declining businesses with debt to a company that's growing and has no debt. I've watched thousands of stocks. Good, like hundreds. I've been watching stock price action for my whole life. Well, for the past 7-8 years. I know stock market mechanics, price action, trading probably better than anyone else in here. And GameStop's shares are bullish. The fundamental or the mechanical pattern of GameStop shares are bullish for the past 2 years. Where have you seen a lower low here? How is it going to go below 20 bucks? Or I guess 1980. If it goes below 1980, that means the stock's bearish. But the stock isn't bearish. The stock market isn't bearish. When it went to $10 in 2023 or whatever, guess what? The stock market was crashing. Well, it wasn't really crashing, but it was bearish. I don't see how you guys form the opinions that the stock is going to go lower. It just doesn't make sense. Even if you don't believe in fundamentals, the mechanics of this stock are bullish, so to think that it's going to make a lower low is insane. I hope it goes to 10 bucks. I don't mind smaller numbers on my phone screen. It's just not going to go to 10 bucks though. People have been saying that forever, bro. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, Patrick? If it goes to 10 bucks, they're just going to do the greatest buyback ever, most likely. So it's just, I don't know, man. Like, if GameStop was a declining company, sure, I'd agree with you. I'd be like, yeah, it probably could go down, but it's a growing business. It's not. I'm not bearish, I'm bullish. It's just my opinion. We watched GameStop go all the way to $10 and rocket up. Was it bearish then? I don't think GME trades on fundamentals. It was bearish then, or else it wouldn't have went to $10. You are bearish. If you think the stock is going to make a lower low, you are bearish on the stock. You aren't bullish on the stock. That makes no, that's literally, that's crazy. You said you've watched hundreds of companies. Bearish? Bearish. A stock is making lower lows and lower highs. Bullish. A stock is making higher highs and higher lows. You are saying that GameStop is going to make a lower low. You are bearish on the stock. You might be bullish long term, maybe, but if you think GameStop's going below $20 or $19.50, whatever the low was, I don't know exactly what it is because I don't care. I don't look at this. I literally don't care about the chart. I don't care about the price action. So why you guys care about it so much, I have no clue. If GameStop drops below 1760 or whatever, 1870, wherever, that's bearish. If you think it's going down to these lower prices, you are bearish on the stock. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You say you've watched hundreds of companies? Like, a bearish stock makes lower lows. A bullish stock makes higher highs. So if you think GameStop's going lower, you're bearish. There's no argument about that. The bottom secured by the cash on hand, it's that simple. Well, and the dilution has raised the floor of the price in a lot of ways. The last time GameStop hit a $10 price point or $4 billion market cap, you only had like 300 million in shares outstanding. Now you're sitting on basically 450 million of shares outstanding. Now let's actually look. Once this plumber gets here, I'm out. Hopefully he gets here sometime soon. But let's see. When was the last time GameStop was at $10? 4/8/2024. Let's see. Let's see what the shares outstanding were then, because I don't remember. We're going back in time here. 4/8/24. So 10K here. You were sitting on you were sitting on 300 million shares, 305 million. So you've raised the shares outstanding by 50%. So I guess, theoretically it could go back to like $15, I guess, but I think the dilution kind of raised the floor. But let's see, what was the... Oh, you had 2.7 billion in assets back then. Wait, how many assets does GameStop have now? 2.7 billion. When they were at $10 last time, 2.7 billion. What are they at now? So you're telling me they've 3-4x their assets? I mean, sure. Maybe. Maybe it'll go down. But you can't sit and say you're bullish on a stock and then say that it's going to go make a lower low, because it's just not, that's not even real. And sure, the stock could squeeze, but it's probably not happening ever again. Maybe, but probably not. I buy every month, but just see this as a potential massive buying opportunity. Okay. I'm not bearish, then proceeds to give bearish statement. Exactly, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I think people just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why people think the way, like, I don't even, like, it's crazy because I don't even think about the share price. I don't give a fuck how much it goes down, what if it goes up. But, like, if we're just being real, if we're going to talk about share price, the likelihood of this going below $20 is so low at this point. So, like, anyone with that opinion, I just, where do you get that opinion from? Legitimately. Like, you're basing it off of price action from 2 years ago, 4 years ago, when it's not even close to the same company it was 2 years ago. I mean, it was not even remotely close 4 years ago. So how is past price action relevant? I just don't think it is. What was that? Another request? Lambo season? Want to see a dip? Let me buy your shares real quick. I mean, why can't we just have a gladiator fights between bulls and bears so we can stop arguing? I mean, I agree with you. I just want the bearish people to, like, have a better thesis. Then the stock's gonna go down. It's going down because of dilution. It's like, okay, you can have that opinion. That's fine. But why? Why do you have that opinion? Why do you think the stock is going to go down because of dilution? Why do you think the stock's going to make a lower low? Because you think it's going to squeeze right after? Well, a short squeeze is less than 1% chance, so your analysis is based off of a less than 1% chance? Sorry, that's not good analysis. That's just terrible analysis. You can make sports bets. You know, have you ever seen a sports book? you can make a bet that's like a plus 10,000, plus 50,000. Doesn't mean it's a good bet. Just bought 4 shares. Wait a couple minutes. Eating crunchy peanut butter is like preferring cake batter to cake. Finish making your food before consuming. Why do you hate? Such a crunchy peanut butter hater is crazy. So where's this going in 5 years? I don't know. The business is going to be up. The business should be sitting very nice. Where the stock price goes, who knows? You think when GameStop is sitting on $50 billion in assets that it's still going to be trading at a $10 billion market cap? I think that's pretty unlikely. Let's think about it. Let's think about it for a second. Apple is sitting on obviously, people would probably think it's insane to compare Apple to GameStop, but look at it from a fundamental perspective. Don't even look at the numbers or the names. Apple has $300 billion in assets. Sure, their net income's massive. I forget exactly how much they pulled in, but they're pulling in a lot. But just looking at it from an asset perspective, they're sitting on $300 billion in assets, and Apple's trading at a $3-4 trillion market cap. I mean, if you're looking at it from a fundamental perspective, GameStop should already be trading at 100 billion market cap. But that's just not the case. So I don't know. Where it's going to be in 5 years, who knows? I'll take my birthday cake gelato over birthday cake all day. Gelato. I think we're going to 1600 in the coming years. That's the measured move as I see. Just think with all the fuckery, fundamentals don't always dictate price. Lots of stocks trade under book value. Yeah, stocks that are declining companies trade under book value. Go find a growing business that's trading under book value. Please enlighten me. Go find a growing business that isn't just drowning in debt, that is trading under book value. I'm sure there's like one or two, but good luck finding it. And your opinion doesn't dictate price either. You think it's going to 1600? Okay. 1600? 448? You think it's going to be a $716 billion company in the coming years? Maybe in like 40 years, maybe in 30 years. Okay. And how's it going to get to 1600 when they're going to dilute, when they're going to raise another 2.5 billion shares? How's it going to get to 700 billion market cap when they're going to raise another 4 or 5x of shares? See, that's the funny thing, is everyone's so focused on price when price is so irrelevant. Market cap is the only thing that matters. If you're looking at price, it's an irrelevant metric. When GameStop acquires eBay, if they acquire eBay, the price is going to be irrelevant because everything's going to change. So if your focus is price, I just can't even take your analysis seriously because the price is irrelevant. If there was at 2.5 billion shares outstanding right now, you'd be priced at $5. So you don't know what the price is going to be. You don't know what the price is going to be tomorrow. You don't know what the price is going to be a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10, 20 years from now. So to sit and act like you know what price is going to be at, or think you know even, having an opinion on price at all is just so irrelevant. I'm sorry, but it is so irrelevant. Seems like a merger is not going to happen for a long while, maybe late 27. I mean, Ryan did say that he's going to get it done by the end of the year in one of the interviews. So, should see it by the end of the year. And if it takes longer than that, I mean, the longer it takes, the better it is for GameStop shareholders. The more time we have to stack cash, the more time potential the stock randomly squeezes, if that's going to be a thing. I don't necessarily think that's going to be a thing, but if it does, you know, they're just going to do another share offering, and is what it is. So, I don't know. I'm bearish over the next 5 years. The stock's going down. Dilution. Do I need to do the math for you? My projections are private. Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. I get it. You shouldn't put your solid DD out there, you know? The short thesis is just too intense for your average investor. So I get why you wouldn't want to share it. Everyone's looking at price. They look at the shares they have and try to dream what they might have at some point. Yeah, I mean, but how do you know you're not going to have more shares? How do you know they're not going to do another share split? Or maybe when the GameStop eBay merger happens, maybe you get more shares or less shares. Like, I don't know. Like, there's so many things that could happen. Like the warrants. You got free warrants. You basically got given, you know, a free $2,000 So you could have a lot more shares in the future if they keep doing dilutive things. You never know. You never know. I get what you're saying, but share price is just irrelevant. Market cap's the only thing that matters. If you think it's going to a 700 billion market cap, how do you know what the share price is going to be when it gets there? Because it's not going to 700 billion market cap for multiple, possibly at least 2 or 3 decades. You think the the price isn't going to be what you think it's going to be. The market cap's all that matters. There's additional polymarket bets on what GME earnings are going to be. That's kind of interesting. Ryan Cohen is playing you. I can't believe people think he's a good CEO. How is he playing? How is he playing? This has to be just like one person with a bunch of accounts. Like, I don't know. It's so weird, bro. Some fucking weirdos out there. When all he does is dilute his shareholders. How is he diluting? How is he diluting? You must not understand business. Oh, man. What's up, Ruben? How you doing, Ruben? There's simply no argument against GME as a long-term investment. We have the most loyal buyers, a genius leadership, and the cheaper it gets, the more we buy. Oh, yeah. Playing it. We're playing him, playing us. Get with the program. He dilutes every time and then says he turned the company around. What a clown. Okay, that's not a good reason. Because he didn't dilute. He offered shares while the stock was short squeezing. That's not dilution. He brought value to the company. He raised 50% of shares while in return raising the assets by 3-4x. So if that's not dilution. It's not dilution. Your ownership went down, sure, but GameStop's business grew in return by much more than the shares they raised. They only raised 50% of shares, but they increased the assets of the business 3-4x. So it wasn't dilutive. It was accretive. Accretive. Should we look up the definition of accretive? Accretive definition. Let's see. Let's go to Investopedia for the people. Accretive refers to gradual growth that enhances a company's earnings. Accretive acquisitions add more value than the costs involved, often bought at discounts. Accretive investments include securities purchased at discounts, gaining value over time. Zero coupon bonds represent accretion by paying out at maturity without interim interest. In finance, an increase in earnings per share post-acquisition signifies accretion. Whoa! Whoa! Wait, zero coupon bonds represent accretion by paying out at maturity without interim interest? In finance, an increase in earnings per share post-acquisition signifies accretion? No! No! No way! I thought I was getting diluted this whole time. Oh man, it turns out we're getting accretive. We're getting accredited. Pretty interesting. There's potential to be diluted forever. However, the only real movers are institutions, and if they lose interest due to low outlook, it will not be good. So I think if the goal is to get the value up quickly enough to keep investors interested. I don't, because the share price trading at a low price is valuable to shareholders. Anyone who's a real GameStop shareholder doesn't want the price to go up. Oh, the plumber's here. All right, chat, I gotta go. Have a good one. God bless you.